Law enforcement agencies deal with a variety of traffic issues every day. Pedestrian safety is one of them. Nearly 4,800 pedestrians die in traffic crashes every year. That's about 11% of yearly traffic fatalities. Every day, nearly everyone is a pedestrian, including you and your fellow officers. You may know of an officer who was injured or even killed by a motor vehicle while walking when on duty. Laws sanction both motorists and pedestrians who are disruptive to traffic or who put themselves or others at risk. This video will explain the importance of enforcing pedestrian laws for motorists and pedestrians to keep you and your community safe. Research helped us identify groups of people who are at higher risk of being involved in pedestrian crashes. One of the population's most vulnerable are older adults. The pedestrian fatality rate for individuals over the age of 70 is the highest for all age groups. Often this group is not the one at fault in a pedestrian crash. Older adults may not hear or see well, and they may not be able to move or react as quickly to avoid a crash as younger pedestrians. Children are also at high risk for being involved in a pedestrian crash. Research shows that young children, especially those aged 10 and under, are not able to make safe pedestrian choices for themselves. Children are easily distracted and forget safety rules, such as when they are playing and when they chase a ball into the street or run into the street when they hear or see an ice cream truck. Vehicles speeding through neighborhoods or near schools put children especially at risk. Intoxicated pedestrians put themselves and others at risk. Don't drink and drive has become a widely accepted practice. However, as an alternative, intoxicated individuals may decide to walk home from a bar, which can be just as deadly. Recent research has shown that Hispanic males and other new immigrants are at high risk of being involved in pedestrian crashes. Immigrants are less likely to have access to a car and more likely to rely on walking. These individuals are often unfamiliar with our traffic signals and laws. Always be aware of pedestrians, especially the most vulnerable: older adults, children, intoxicated individuals, Hispanics, and other new immigrants. Now that you know who is at the most risk, it is time to look at the most common violations that put pedestrians at risk. Often motorists violate the right-of-way of pedestrians crossing the street at marked and signaled crosswalks. Most common are motorists violating a pedestrian's right-of-way while turning right on red or not yielding to pedestrians when turning left. Motorists are often distracted or driving too fast to stop in time to avoid hitting a pedestrian. Motorists often put children at risk by ignoring the red flashing lights and stop arm and illegally passing a school bus stopped to load or unload children. Pedestrians also put themselves at risk. Pedestrians often cross wherever it is convenient for them, which often is not the safest place, such as mid-block or outside of a crosswalk. They may step out between two parked cars without looking and take a motorist by surprise. Other times, pedestrians may walk against a signal because they see no oncoming traffic, or they simply do not want to wait for the light. There are a number of ways law enforcement can increase pedestrian safety by both enforcing the laws and by working with the community. Law enforcement is a key component to improving pedestrian safety. Enforcing speed limits, something which you already do, reduces pedestrian crashes. Enforce motorist violations of pedestrian right-of-way laws. One way to do this is to conduct pedestrian enforcement decoy operations, an effective tool to demonstrate the importance of following all traffic laws and honoring pedestrian right-of-way. Plainclothed officers as decoys attempt to cross the street at a marked crosswalk. A few yards down, uniformed officers pull over and ticket any motorists that do not yield for the decoy.
The more enforcement we do in one area or on one typical traffic violation, the more compliance we get.
Make sure to enforce pedestrian violations of traffic laws as well, including crossing against the light or jaywalking. It is important that you complete a comprehensive crash report for each pedestrian crash you investigate. This provides valuable insight for enforcement and transportation officials, and it also helps communities create a more effective pedestrian safety program. As an officer, you are a safety resource to the community. Your involvement and presence can have a strong impact on citizens. Consider visiting a local retirement community to educate older adults on the potential risks and safety practices involved as a pedestrian. Get involved in Walk to School Day or Safe Routes to School programs. Be aware of unsteady pedestrians in entertainment districts or leaving bars on foot. An increased presence of law enforcement in these environments may decrease alcohol-related crime. Give short presentations or provide pedestrian safety materials to churches or cultural centers where Hispanics or new immigrants may frequent. Pedestrians at any age may not realize the importance of making themselves visible, especially while walking at night. Encourage people to walk facing traffic, wear retro-reflective clothing, and carry a flashlight to make it easier for themselves as pedestrians and motorists to see each other. This video has provided you with some basic information to create a safer environment for motorists and pedestrians. Please take the time to learn more about pedestrian safety laws to make your community a safer place. Increase your awareness of interactions between pedestrians and motorists, and address violators of pedestrian safety laws. Enforcement of these laws will save lives and make your community safer. Pedestrian enforcement efforts may be subject to rules and procedures in your jurisdiction. Please consult with legal counsel before conducting any of the activities detailed in this video.